the game. Yes, Doctor, in hindsight, it was a pretty stupid thing to do. What do you want me to say? Excuse me if I'm not always the sharpest tool in the box. The question is, can you get them off? Sorry, yes, I realise that your valuable expertise could be put to better use on a Saturday night, but as you're going to be dining out on my misfortune for weeks to come, I do think you could show a little more sensitivity towards my predicament. Please. Look, if I were to end up with permanent scarring, then my career would be over before it's had a chance to begin. Chess. Do I play chess? Maybe. As chat-up lines go, that's as likely to win you a fumble as the BNP's chances of winning the migrant workers' vote. What's that got to do with the price of eggs? Please, there must be something you can put on to dissolve it. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but it isn't just painful, it's humiliating. Is there any reason why we can't close the curtains, at least? Thank you. Yeah, I tried that. The girl in the shop told me soap and water would do it. It didn't. Why chess, anyway? And that was when I hit him. Well, I say hit him. He said I hit him, but it was more of a slap, really. I didn't even draw blood. And maybe he was right, and I don't think things through enough before I do them. Maybe chess would sharpen my wits and teach me to stay a couple of moves ahead of the game. But it was the way he said it. Stood there all middle class and white, stethoscope draped round his collar like he thought he was starring in the American version of Casualty. 2 hands on me tit, talking to me like he'd have to confiscate me if I made any further avoidable mistakes. He said he was going to do me for assault, so I turned on the old waterworks and told me he was feeling me up. And anyway, I'd specifically asked to see a female doctor, and as a female patient, that was my constitutional right. They shut up. Didn't help my original problem much though, because they told me I'd have to either wait till one came on shift or come back in the morning. I've done some pretty stupid things in my time, but I suppose this does just about take the biscuit. Not the slapping of the doctor, he absolutely had that coming. No, I mean, the other thing, the reason. Sorry, I've lost my place. I mean, the other thing, the reason why I'm sat here on this cold trolley in nothing more than a tasselled G-string, a pair of red patent thigh-high boots and these. What's Brian going to say, eh? Brian's my boyfriend, see. He thinks I'm out with the girls from a salon on a Bacardi binge. He'd go nuts if he knew what I've really been doing. Brian's an apprentice footballer. He misses even more than I do. To Brian, everything is a matter of attack and defence. Life's so much simpler for him. He believes that you should find your position, then play to it. That's it. That is all Brian thinks. But I want more than that. Actually, that's probably why I slapped that doctor. He hit a nerve as well as a few nerve endings. I'd love to be able to plan that far ahead, to know exactly where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. Checkmate in 14 moves and all that. Brian says I should just stick to what I'm good at, though. Play me part for the team. Leave the hard stuff, like thinking, to the professionals what are paid to do it. I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is all I'll ever be, a hairdresser in a small town salon with ideas above her station. No, that other doctor already tried that an hour ago and all it did was give me stretch marks. Yes, the one I slapped. Well, haven't you got anything stronger? Look, if brute force was going to work, don't you think they'd have come off by now? No, I don't care if you have got surgeon's hands. That scalpel is not coming anywhere near my assets. Put yourself in my shoes. Oh, you can't, can you? Well, she was too sensitive to be a nurse, is all I can say. She got upset by that. The matron came in an hour later with hands like the bride of Frankenstein and snapped some glue on me chest that smelt like Swarfiga, then stomped back out again in her built-up sensible shoes after telling me to try a gentle twist every few minutes till she came back. She minded her idea of a gentle twist, which looked more like an attempt to get the lid off a childproof bottle of bleach to me. I suddenly had this mental image of her husband as this short, dumpy bloke with a pervert's moustache cowering in a corner wearing nothing but a bridle and a dog lid. Well, it's boring sitting here waiting for something to happen. My mind wanders. That is how I know I'm meant for more, you see. If I wasn't, then I'd just be content with what I've got, like my mum always was. They all think I'm fit just because I was born on an estate and I left school at 15. Right, I don't know much, but that's just because I've never had the chance to learn much, right? I'm not stupid. I've got a brain like everybody else. I've just never had the opportunity to use it properly. I've tried reading stuff that I know nothing about. We got this little library in the staff room at the salon. It's all books that clients have left behind when they've been having a treatment. The only ones that ever get thumbed are the black lace ones. It seems like such a shame. All that knowledge just sitting there between the coffee percolator and the wax strips, and no one else in there has ever read so much as the cover. So I pulls out this one with a weird title. I think it was by that bloke who used to be the waiter in 40 Towers. Something about a bloke who thought his wife was a hag. Really? It's all stuff about people with brain illnesses. Well, way over my head. But then I suppose you have to work up to books like that. You can't just go in cold and expect to understand the secrets of the universe in one go, can you? I mean, that would be like a rocket scientist trying to round out a back sack and crack. You don't bear thinking about. Tracy starts being daft. Tracy's my boss. She said that people's brain capacities are finite, that you can't just make yourself brainier by reading clever books. If you're born thick, she said, you'll always be thick. It's like with animals, she said. You can teach a dog how to bark for his dinner, but you can't teach him to say please and thank you. Well, I don't like being called a dog any more than I like being patronised by pompous 12-year-old doctors, but as she's my boss and all, I didn't feel I could slap her. Which is why I spiked her spritzer with speed at Tara's hen do instead. Anyway, a brain is like a big sponge, isn't it? Well, that's how I see it anyways. Floating around in your head, soaking up all the things you see and all the things you read. Sometimes when you get older, if you've had a really full life, your brain sort of overloads and you start forgetting bits. I've seen that with some of my ladies. They call it dimensions or something like that. I suppose the trick is not to take in too much in the first place. But I've got a long way to go before I have to worry about that. So, Dr. Smug, I'll have you know, I have been thinking ahead. I decided to go to night school to try and learn a bit more about stuff, to show people I ain't as thick as I look. Aha! Ha 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 ha! Oh! Oh God, thank you. I'll take back everything I said about your shoes. Will these stretch marks go down, do you think? I mean, I'm grateful and all, but they do look a little bit angry. Saffron, right, yeah. Double-sided tape, yeah. Well, it was my first time. I needed to make sure they'd stay on while I was upside down. I did think it through. This was all part of my big plan. I needed to raise some cash so I could go back to college. I'm not stupid, you know. Shaking your booty is supposed to be easy money, right? It's just a means to an end. It's Fleur's little hairdresser brain trying to go one step ahead of the game. But in hindsight, I suppose supergluing me tips to tassels wasn't a very forward-thinking thing to do. Thank you.